Hey everybody, Amalia here with your Wonder Wednesday post. And oh wow, like so much that I would love to share. Mother's Day being this past Sunday, I happened to be with my mom, and last weekend I happened to be with my kids. So I experienced Mother's Day from both the mother perspective and the daughter perspective. And what is so interesting and so fascinating to me about having these back to back experiences is that it alerted me to some areas of motherhood that I feel like I've missed or maybe didn't experience in quite the same way. It got me thinking, wondering about how we are designed to show up as mothers and how we are influenced or programmed by society or culture or our families to be mothers. And so there's always a sense of mothers sacrifice themselves for their children. Mothers must put their children first. But then there's a little bit of deprogramming of that where it's the idea or concept of, like on an airplane, if there is a need for the oxygen mask, that the mother puts or the parent puts the oxygen mask on before attending to the children. So I feel like we've been taught two different things, and it's like, where is it all coming from, and what is right and what is wrong and what is best and what is not. And I really thought about it in terms of being, I'm going to start with being a daughter and having a relationship with my mother where it has been really beautiful in some ways and really challenging in others. And I think that could be said for a lot of our mother daughter or mother son even relationships, that there's beauty in it, but there's also challenge. And there have been times in my life where I've had to take a step back away from my mother and just really allow myself to be with me and to take some time away. And that was really hard to do. And it's not like I just disappeared. I said I need some time away from this relationship because I feel like I'm growing resentment, and I feel like it's best that we just take a step back. I'm here if you or dad need me. Please let me know. I'm available. I love you. That hasn't changed, but I need to do this for me. And it was several months where we weren't in contact with each other. And it really helped me align with what was true for me and what I needed as a woman, as a mother to my own children, and as a daughter to her. And it wasn't the solution. It wasn't the end of the story. It was actually really awesome when we reconnected and we were able to move on a pathway that was very different than what we had before. And there have been a number of other situations in my life where I have been able to dance and play in the knowledge and the knowing that I am doing the best I can, she's doing the best she can, and everything that happened was perfectly designed for both of us to access parts of ourselves that needed healing or empowerment. And I feel like for both of us, it was about standing in our own truth and our own power. We have very different philosophical beliefs around God, universe, creation, manifestation, morality, energy, all of these things. Okay. And I feel like we are pointing to the same thing, but coming from different angles. We do our best to honor and respect the other one's opinion, but sometimes we both get activated by the other. And I also thought that I had worked through the desire that I think each of us innately has as children and as human beings to want the approval of our parents, to want your mom to approve of your choices, to be proud of the things that you do, to love you unconditionally. And loving unconditionally means being proud of them regardless of what they're doing. And in my view, I'm speaking in my view, is being proud of them regardless of what they're doing. And if it doesn't vibe with your belief system or the way you live your life, but knowing that that is their choice and you love them because they're living their choice. They're living their soul's purpose. They're living their dream. They're living in accordance with what they came to this earth to live. And I felt her judgment around choices and decisions that I've made and the way I've chosen to live my life. And I was judging her for judging me. So I caught myself in this loop and this trap of judgment that I really was so sure that I was out of, and that I didn't need her approval, but in that moment realized that there's some part of me that still does. As a 50-year-old woman who has 4 children of her own and is a strong dynamic force in and of myself, there's still this little Amalia in me that's looking for my mom's approval. And now I'm not getting it. And sitting with that. And then as a mom of 4, 3 boys and 1 girl, how do I show up for them? Am I living up to a standard that I have set forth for myself and my own mother with my children? Am I showing up for them with unconditional love, allowing them to be who they are and being so proud of them and so in their corner and so like the biggest cheerleader they could possibly have, regardless of the path that they choose to be on? I would like to think so, but I don't know. And what sort of relationship I have with them and what sort of relationship a perfect mother has with their child is very different. I'm surrounded by the concept of basically you have to be so into what you're like, knowing what your child is doing in every moment. Like the way I see it, it's like up each other's ass and in constant contact to be a good mom. And is that true? Because I know with my kids, they don't want to be in constant contact. They are perfectly happy periodically checking in and talking periodically and knowing that I'm there and they can reach me anytime and that I would show up in an instant if they need me. But they don't want me texting them or calling them every day or even every other day. They don't need or want that from me. And I've been able to have that conversation with them. So where's the balance of letting them know I'm there, showing up as a mom, and then not smothering them or overwhelming them? There's so much to it. And it's like, I feel like there's no right way or wrong way. There's no singular path. There's different paths based on you, based on your children, based on your parents, based on their experience. I feel like this is such a huge topic, but I guess my wonderment question, my big curiosity for today is, I wonder how you navigate being, if you are a mom, how you navigate being a mom. And if you are not a mom, you have a mom, whether she's living or not. What sort of relationship, what sort of support would you have wanted or do you want from her, regardless of your age? I'd be so curious to hear what you all are thinking and feeling on this, because it's one that I'm really in contemplation about, having had 2 bookend weekends of being the mom and being the daughter to the mom and experiencing both ends of that spectrum and wondering how I can show up as the best mom for my kids as I can. And that may look very different than the way you show up as the best mom for yours. And the ancestral component, the what we learn from our parents and what they learn from their parents, and goes on and on and on, has this ripple effect to the present day and then to the future with our own children. And how can we shift some of those dynamics and shift those energies so that it's really truly aligned with who we are versus who we feel like we need to be. So, big topic, talked a long time today. If you watched till the end, thank you so much. And remember, we learn from one another. So please do share with someone you think may benefit. And I'm wishing you a very, very beautiful, wonderful Wednesday.